This is Syracuse's time to shine. When everyone's doubting them, they somehow pull their head out of their butts and they win games and they wind up in March Madness. After Marquette, it's really hard to kind of trust this team. In some very weird way, that might have been the best thing that happened for this team, because that was the best way to get their attention, was to lose that type of game, because up until that game, all of Carolina's losses were respectable, understandable. That loss wasn't. And you could tell that Roy Williams took that game very personally that they got beat. He was very pissed off in the postgame, and he's still probably mad about it right now, because that's the kind of guy he is. I don't see Carolina sleepwalking again. If they lose, it's because they just get outplayed. I don't think it's because they don't come ready to play. With that, I think they're going to win, because they own Syracuse. They understand that they still have a lot of opportunity in front of them as well. There's still a path for them to get a double bye in the ACC tournament. There's still a way to improve their seed line till you're not sweating it out come Selection Sunday. I think this is a good win that you can build off of. I think they'll go on the road and beat Syracuse for coming back home to host the Blue Devils.
I know you said you don't like Monday games.
Can't stand them.
In this scenario, this actually works well for this team, because I think last week, you get the big win over Louisville, and you had some time to really start feeling yourself as a team and saying, hey, we're a really good basketball team, and we're playing a team in Marquette that really isn't all that good. This time, you don't have that. You don't have that time to sit there and think about, oh, this was a huge win. Now we're starting to play well again. You have to turn around really quickly and play a Syracuse team that you know is going to be desperate. I think that works. That works in the Tar Heels' favor in this one. As you mentioned, look, this is where Roy Williams is most comfortable, is coaching against zone defenses. He loves it. So I think that this is really going to work well for him. I feel like you can see, outside of really that Marquette game, and I think part of that was just he was that frustrated with the team at one point. He has really stepped it up coaching-wise over these last couple of weeks. You can tell that he realizes that he has to coach this team about as hard as any team that he has had to coach in his coaching career, and he's doing just that. I think you'll see that intensity again from him in this game against Syracuse. And I think, look, he's going to hold the coaching advantage. Jim Boeheim is one of the greatest coaches of all time, but you can tell that some of that fire, some of what he used to do just isn't resonating as much as he used to at Syracuse. I still think they're always a threat in March, but I think Carolina's the better team in this game. I think they'll go to the Carrier Dome, and they'll keep Syracuse from getting one of those big March wins and get themselves a significant win in March.
Whether Carolina wins or loses, we'll have you covered on the HeelToughBlog.com, as we have with Florida State. Sarah Wiley previewed the game. I recapped the game. You can find that content from Florida State, as well as the preview for Syracuse and the recap on HeelToughBlog.com, as we've got you covered with great basketball coverage as we're nearing the end of the regular season, which then means the ACC tournament and then, of course, the eventual NCAA tournament. On the baseball side of things, Anthony will have your recap from this weekend's series against Virginia, which Carolina has already clinched a series victory after beating the Cavaliers again today in Chapel Hill. And on the football side of things, Carolina got a football commit on Friday, and from an in-state player that plays at Shelby. Anthony broke down his commitment. There'll also be weekly storylines, scouting reports as high school football is underway in the spring in the state of North Carolina. So get all that great basketball, football, and baseball content on HeelToughBlog.com. And lastly, we encourage you guys to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on every major podcasting feed, most notably Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts. Give us a like, review me as the host, review Anthony as the co-host. But we want you to subscribe. That way you get every podcast in your podcast feed. But with that, I do want to thank Anthony for taking some time to talk a little Carolina basketball. We thank you guys for listening, and as always, go Tar Heels.